He stole listeners' hearts with his modern take on the swinging songs of the past, but then things got funky, and that's when Harry Connick Jr. became a left turn legend. That's next on Track by Track. Hey everybody, my name's Kyle and this is Left Turn Legends on Track by Track, a series where we look at some of the biggest names in music and examine the moment when they abandoned their signature sound to do something completely different. We've got a great story to dig into today, but before we take that left turn, do me a favor and left click on subscribe. That way you won't miss future episodes, album reviews, and much, much more. When it comes to contemporary vocalists carrying on the grand pop singer tradition of Frank Sinatra, there's probably no one bigger than Harry Connick Jr. As early as his teenage years, he was signed to Columbia Records and began building his reputation as a piano virtuoso and a singer in the classic style. But when most listeners met Harry was when Harry met Sally. That's When Harry Met Sally, the movie, the 1989 romantic comedy hit starring Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. Director Rob Reiner tapped Harry Connick Jr. to perform the film's soundtrack, a collection of standards by greats like George and Ira Gershwin, Benny Goodman, Duke Ellington, and more. The soundtrack album went on to hit #1 on the Billboard Jazz charts, eventually going double platinum, as well as winning Connick his first Grammy. As much as audiences loved When Harry Met Sally, they also fell in love with Harry Connick Jr. His 1990 follow-up to his soundtrack hit proved there was plenty more to love. We Are in Love was just as big a hit even without a movie to promote it. Once again, the singer saw great success on the charts and took home another Grammy as well. He went on to release an impressive 5 more albums in the next 4 years, including what would go on to be his biggest album ever, 1993's When My Heart Finds Christmas. That holiday album cracked the code on what listeners wanted in a perennial Christmas classic, and it has gone on to sell well every holiday season since. So in 1994, after the man had a dozen jazz albums in his discography, Harry Connick Jr. shocked fans by going in a whole new direction. The album was called She, and it found Connick all but abandoning his signature sound in favor of instead exploring New Orleans funk. This was during my time managing a record store, so for me, my first exposure to the music was an in-store play selection. I had no idea what I was about to hear. Like everyone else, I'd come to love Connick's throwback sound and was excited to hear more of it on the new album. So I popped it into the store sound system, pressed play, and then what the hell is this? That pretty much sums up the world's collective response to the album, at least upon first hearing it. This was definitely not what people were expecting. We even had people asking to return the album for a refund because they thought it was total garbage. And I'll admit, I was utterly taken aback at first, and I did not like what I was hearing my first time through the track list. But it didn't take long for me to come around and not just appreciate this new musical direction, I kind of came to love it. We all did. All of us working in the store were really digging it. But we also started warning people when they brought it up to the cash register. Have you heard this yet? This isn't like When Harry Met Sally at all. The next year, Connick took the music on tour, and once again, audiences were taken aback. I saw the show when it came to my town, and of course I knew exactly what to expect. The ticket made it pretty clear this was Harry Connick Jr. and his funk band. But never in my life have I seen so many people walk out of a show. We had balcony seats, so while I didn't have a great view of the stage, we could still see the entire auditorium. We had a clear view to witness the mass exodus that probably started about 30 minutes into the performance and continued throughout the rest of the night. To be fair, the band sounded pretty great, but if you came expecting to hear It Had to Be You or Don't Get Around Much Anymore, you were going to be sorely disappointed. Then in 1996, Harry doubled down on the funk with Star Turtle. While the album She did go platinum, I think a lot of people had buyer's remorse when they didn't get the kind of music they were expecting. Consequently, Star Turtle sold just half as many copies. And as much as I liked Harry's first foray into funk, I never did warm up to his second outing in that genre. The following year, Connick's To See You found the singer finally returning to the sound that made him a star, with an album of all original love songs in the classic style and accompanied by a full orchestra. Now, more than 20 years later, you'd be forgiven if you hadn't stayed in touch with Connick's musical endeavors since his funk experiments, but he's remained wildly prolific, continuing to average an album a year pretty much throughout his entire career. And if you're curious if he's stayed in that classic crooner lane, the title of his most recent album should solve that mystery. It's True Love, a celebration of Cole Porter. Exactly the kind of thing his fans have come to love. But still, hats off to Harry and his bold and funky experiment, which some fans may prefer to forget. But I'm happy to put it in the spotlight, showcasing the musical detour that makes Harry Connick Jr. a left turn legend. Once again, my name's Kyle, and this has been Track by Track. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, plus check out some of these other videos below that I think you might also enjoy. And of course, be sure to click subscribe, because true music fans always want new releases the day they come out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.